What's up, folks? Derek with Vic's Cooler Chicken. Man, I just want to talk to you guys about events that don't work out the way you think they're supposed to work out. And how do you get back on your feet after an event like that? Let's start. Listen, man, so went to an event a couple weeks ago, first annual, which from here on out, I'm gonna have to do a lot of research when it's the first annual because that first annual this time was not a very good one. And sometimes you got to take that in consideration. If it's the first one, make sure you do your homework to see if it's going to be profitable. Took about a 4 hour trip for this event, motorcycle event. Thought it was going to be a lot bigger. The sponsors and the person who threw the event thought it was going to be a lot bigger, but as the event went on, we found out there was a even bigger one the following weekend, um, sort of like in the same group, but they were trying their first one. So let's talk about the first one and what you need to do. You need to do your research to find out if it's going to be profitable. Um, Second, once you get there and find out that it is not going the way you think it's going to go, and all of the sponsors, or I'm sorry, all the six vendors that were there with us did terrible. So it's different if you were only doing bad. Does that mean there's maybe something wrong with your product or something wrong with your presentation or you didn't look the part? But when everybody struggled because there just wasn't enough people there, then that's when you say, okay, it's not me, it's not them. That just wasn't a good event. So you put that one in the Rolodex. You learn how to do new things. You practice some new things with limited audience, and then you teach people who are working with you how to do different things in that spot. So my son was there, my sister was there, some of her friends were there, my daughter was there, my granddaughter was there. And in our downtime, which was a lot, you were able to teach them how to use a credit card machine, show them how to cook the chicken, how to temp the beans, all those different type of things to help make a busy time easier because you practice at a slow time. So I mean, there's things you can do when you're slow or a business just isn't good, which it was terrible. It was really bad. One thing you do is practice to get better for a more busier event. Teach people things that they don't usually do. Okay, that's one of the things we did. You know, we walked around and we sampled the other vendors' food to see, hey, what can we add to our menu, and if we need to change anything in our menu, we let the vendors taste our food, and they said, man, your food was wonderful. Barbecue chicken, barbecue baked beans with meat, onions, green peppers, bacon, a little kick on the end, some lumpia, struggle punch. They're like, you got a great, easy menu. If it was busier, I could see how you would be successful. So that makes you feel good when you see other people who's been in the game a lot longer than you have, 2, 6, 10, 12 years, and they say you got a good product. Just need to keep working at it. That made me feel good, and to see my son work as hard as he did, as a teenager, um, it was great. So those are the good things as well as the bad things that came from the event. We learned how fast we can cook chicken. We learned that we didn't need as much charcoal. We tried different charcoal. We tried different lighting techniques, other charcoal, due to the fact that we had time to be prepared for the event. Another thing you need to take into account is when you're getting ready for an event, get all the possible information that you can. So information was kind of tough to get for this event. You need to know what time You need to be ready to go. You need to know what time first sales are going to go. You need to know if they're going to need breakfast. You're going to need to know what are the things that he needs from a vendor that you can provide for them in their time of need while they're running this event. We didn't get that type of information. We didn't know what time we were supposed to set up. We didn't know if they was going to need breakfast. I mean, these are the different things that we didn't know. So a lot of us showed up at noon because they know we know they had rides and that they were probably going to, eat later on, including the concerts that night. So we needed to find out the information, but nobody had a good feel on what the information was. So you need to find out that information before you get to the venue. Are you going to need breakfast? What time are you planning for us to be ready to start selling? What time are we shutting down? Are we able to stay past shutdown if the party is still going on? Ask all those questions so you can be ready. Everybody can be ready. Maybe you send half the staff home. You work shifts. Somebody work day shift. I'm going to be there day and night shift because I like to do customer service. I like to serve food. I like to be there. I mean, that's just like, so I'll allow people to leave. They needed to go home and rest, and I'll stay to do the whole thing. Oh, Red Rocket. Nothing like a good cigar. Red Rocket. So, and then make sure you take notes. Make sure you find out, make sure you work on what worked great for you on this event. And every event that you do from now on, write down the good and the bad and the ugly. That way you can start cutting out the bad and start cutting out the ugly and focus more on the good. You know, it was rough, man. It was rough being out there for several hours, just getting a couple sales just because there wasn't enough people there to make money. There was tons of motorcycles riding through the mountains, but they just weren't coming to the event. The musicians, they already got paid, so they're coming to perform regardless. They're coming. But nobody came later that night to celebrate the event. The event could have been great if people would have showed up. It would have been great. But, sometimes it happens. Sometimes you lose an event. And a lot of times you win. So these are just some of the things I'm telling you just need to work on, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Get rid of the bad and get rid of the ugly and focus on the good. Only way you can focus on the good is you got to get rid of the bad and the ugly. And then after the end of each shift, you ask your staff or whoever's working with you, what could we have done better? What did you see that you think we could do to change? Do we need to put the chicken over here? Do we need to put the beans over here? The lumpia over here? What things do we need to change to make the process easier? And that's all you're working on is a quick process. The guy that was next to me, I can't think of his name. They had a quick process. He had his whole family. And they didn't need a hotel or Airbnb. They slept in the tent. They showered in the community shower. So they saved money on that aspect where I lost money with the Airbnb. Had a great time at the Airbnb, but didn't make the money, recoup the money back. So I had to take that loss. I had to eat that. But there's going to be some events that I'm going to make that back up. I'm going to pay off that loss and then get back on the road and running. I'm not going to do, I'm not going to, I shouldn't say, I'm going to keep doing a lot of events, but I'm also going to start doing more local things like pop-ups and just putting on Facebook and stuff like that. Hey, I'm making plates today. Plates are $15, $20, whatever they might be, or whatever I'm cooking. If you want a plate, if you're looking for a plate, if you need a plate, if you're hungry, come out here and get some of this North Carolina style barbecue. I know I'm in Texas. Some people don't like North Carolina barbecue, and that's just because you just haven't had the right North Carolina barbecue. That's all it is. There is some North Carolina barbecue is trash, just like there's a lot of Texas barbecue that is trash. You just got to find the right North Carolina barbecue. All right, folks. Keep pushing, keep plugging, keep living your dreams. Another thing I had to learn that my dreams are not my family's dreams or my friends' dreams. So it's okay to ask for help, but don't get discouraged or frustrated or sad when they're unable to fulfill your dreams like you would like. They can help you when they can, but they've got things they want to do too. They got goals that they're trying to focus on. So don't push your dreams on them. Just ask for them to support you when they can and if they can. And then if you can do it together, great. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But if you can do it great. I'm going to put some pictures in this video of some of the food that I made at this event. And we're going to keep pushing. This is Derek, Vic's world famous chicken in the cooler, telling you keep pushing your dreams because nobody is going to push your dreams harder than you. Hey, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Peace.